And welcome back to the episode of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play, except really it's a live stream on the internet, except really it kind of is more like a Let's Play than a live stream, because today, you know, we're going layers into layers into layers, like an onion you could say, because we're going to be playing some Minecraft in my everyone's favourite Let's Play world, my favourite world, maybe your favourite world too, and the reason we're in here is because we're doing a live stream replacement. If you are new to the channel and you've seen some live streams but you have no idea what I mean by live stream replacement, basically I like to live stream every Tuesday and Thursday. A lot of people like to come hang out and listen to some Toy Cat, you know, have some live Q&A, have some just fun stuff where we go back and forth. I think live streams are really great and a lot of you do agree, so every single Thursday and Tuesday, you know, you can kind of do that. And even though sometimes I'm literally unable to stream, like right now, I believe I've just landed in Japan, or I'm not even sure what time zones are like, but basically because I don't have access to a recording setup, I couldn't play some Minecraft like I usually do on Thursdays, so what I figured I would do instead is something just a little bit of fun, and we're going to be playing some Minecraft in this live stream replacement style thing, where we chill, we hang out, we talk, and it's like a live stream, and you know, you can just pretend you missed it when it was live. And in fact, half the fun is that we do pretend that, yeah, this is live right now, and you just happen to miss it. You know, this is why you need to turn on notifications. You're always missing my live streams. It's making me feel unloved. Make sure you hit that bell so you see these real, very much real live streams every single day on your homepage. Anyway, I think they're fun. It's kind of like a cross between a Let's Play and a live stream, and allows us to kind of just focus more on just, you know, like chilling and talking and stuff. Because obviously when we're doing the live streams, there's a lot of Q&A element on it, which is fun, and I do like Q&A, and that's why Q&A Saturday exists. But it's still like, you know, it's different, it's unique, and it's something you have to work in there. So I'm gonna put a few blocks up here. Not necessarily a lot of them, but like a few, just to kind of like make the tunnel go better. But today's big project that I wanted to work on, because when I start playing Minecraft, sometimes I want to play for 20 minutes, just hop in and out, have a bit of fun. But sometimes I'm like, no, I've got to do something big today. I've got to push the big boulder forwards that I want to have pushed somewhere. And the big boulder I want to push forwards today is my huge Nether tunnel. I want to have a 10,000 block long tunnel made of stone brick, looking like this roughly, kind of like a cross between Nether brick, Netherrack where it exists, and where possible, some stone brick. And the idea behind it is I want to just have a huge pathway that allows me to travel really, really fast. Because obviously, if you make a tunnel, you can not only walk along it like this, which is pretty fast, especially with a speed potion or a horse, but also we can activate a elytra, or we can try, and that's a really fast way to get through it. And basically, I just feel like, you know, this is a fun idea, I want to do it, and is that enough for a reason? I think it is. So, yeah, with that said, today... How does that... What is a turtle doing in the Nether? This is the least appropriate place for a turtle I can literally imagine. So, just for safety, I'm going to have something going over here, and I'm going to try and lure the turtle. Okay, so I'm going to, like, hop this way, and then move the turtle this way without... Oh, no! Okay, we're safe, we're safe. I'm going to put the turtle in my tunnel, just as a reminder that, like, slow and steady wins the race or whatever. And there we go. Now we officially have inside... Okay, so I'm just going to knock him. He hates me. He'll hate you if you do it, but it's fine. Just place a big old block of stuff over there, and over there too, which I almost fell down. And there we go. Look at this. We now have a roughly functional, again, emphasis on the word roughly, little tunnel with a turtle inside, which is entirely silly. Oh, he can climb up over the gap. Well, you know, if he wants to do, you know, it's his decision. I don't even care anymore. So yeah, that's the big project we're working on today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you are too. And if you're not looking forward to it, then hopefully you're looking at it. Because honestly, I've never liked the phrase looking forward, because like, I mean, I understand it like, oh yeah, you're looking forward in time to the time, you know, the place in time where you're doing the thing you want to be doing. Like, oh, I would really love it if I was... you know, like, oh, right now I'm looking forward to Japan because I'm really excited about going. And I get the, like, oh yeah, you can't wait for that moment to happen. But it's also, I feel like looking forward is one of the most dangerous things you can kind of, like, do as a person. So, oh, you know, okay, so as people, you know, like, if you compare us to, like, any other animal or species, most animals exist and do things. Like, think about your cat. Your cat doesn't look forward to anything. Your cat just exists, and your cat eats food when you give it food, and your cat does all this sort of stuff. And maybe that's offensive to you and your cat. Maybe you think Mr. Sniffles does have feelings and beliefs, and you know, he's an opinion on the current US president or something. But no, your cat has no cares in the world whatsoever, especially about any of those things I just mentioned. And the reason I bring that up is because a lot of the time, even though, you know, like, we have these really complex thoughts and feelings and words and ways to describe things, I think the truth is that, like, deep down, the things that make you happiest are sometimes the things you do. And the things that can the things that define you to others are not the things inside your own head, it's the things that you actually do in the world. I think that although it's really nice to think a great thought, I think what's way more important is to do the great thing. A lot of people get trapped in the logic of like, oh yeah, I'm really wonderful, not right now, but like, you know, don't trust me, there is a part of me that is wonderful. In fact, it's definitely in there. And, you know, I think really good. I feel bad when I rob, therefore it's okay that I steal from people. And it's like, no, you don't get to feel better that way. And one of my favorite examples of this is the fact that, like, if a police officer asks, you know, if you get caught by a police officer and he says, hey, how fast were you going back there? You know, speed limit 60 and you were going 70. You'll lie a little bit and you'll say, oh yeah, I'm going like 63. And it's like, well, you just admitted to a police officer you're breaking the law, but you like lying a little bit. Like, people don't want to feel like they're being a bad person. They're lying because, you know, you'll lie to the police officer, like down to from 70 to 63, because it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, I don't want to go to prison. I don't want this thing to happen to me. But yeah, it's, you know, the fact that you lied, it doesn't really matter if you do a small lie or a big lie. You're still just, you know, the thing that defines you in that moment is that you've lied a little bit to the police officer or whatever. And, yeah, I feel like the base level of what defines you is kind of the things that you do. And that's an important lesson to learn, because if everyone was like that, I feel like everyone would be better to each other. A lot of the times you let people off because it's like, oh yeah, well there's like some complex story that explains that on the inside, and it should be like, no. We can, although some things can be explained by like, oh yeah, that some things can be explanations, things can't be excuses. A lot of people will be like, well, I found an excuse not to do a thing, and therefore that's that. Like, you can have a reason, so, you know, a billion examples of this, but, like, for instance, as soon as, like, I found out that, like, most people, you know, couldn't, like, physically do homework, I'd be like, well, not even gonna try. Or, like, there's a bunch of weird examples, and I just wanted to mention right now, before we go too far off the deep end, that, like, I really think that most of the best things are these simple things. As you know, as humans, we're these complex creatures that also occupy, like, these very simple bodies, right? Like, oh yeah, you know, even though you might think the best thing is when, you know, like, this song comes on and it represents your soul or whatever, really, the best feeling in the world is like, oh yeah, your eardrums beat in a particular way and it makes your brain feel happy. Or like, you know, when you eat ice cream and you get sugar, which your body knows will nourish you for a certain amount of time. All these things, they just make you feel good, and that's why you do them, that's why they happen, and that's just, again, that sounds like a really weird way to define things, but it's something that's important for where, hopefully, maybe we'll go in the future here. So, yeah, with that said, hope you're having a great Tuesday, by the way. I forgot to even mention that. Gotta run away from this. Nope, we didn't do it right. Okay, so, if we place the block, like, over there? This is such an annoyingly hard thing to get perfect. But we just need to, like, block up this gap, and then pray nothing comes through. So we placed it in the wrong place, but that's fine. We're just going to keep on going forwards. I want to get this 10,000 blocks done. I'm moving this boulder forwards, and I'm making it happen. And it's kind of the same thing where, like, you might think that, like, the thing you want most in the world right now is, like, this really complicated, vague thing. And I think the reason that you'll make a complicated, vague thing your goal is because if a goal is too easy and achievable, you'll know you can do it, but you're not doing it, or you'll go out and do it, and you'll need another one. Like, I think everyone deliberately sets themselves super complex life goals sometimes. Oh my gosh, you think you can make this annoying noise? It's not okay. It's just not. Do I have any spaces yet? I still don't. Let's drop the netherrack in exchange for gas tiers. Okay, so first of all for gunpowder, and then for gas tiers, because I'm worth some. But yeah, I feel like everyone has super complicated goals, because it's really hard to, you know, isn't it the best thing in the world when your only goal is like, I really need to go to the bathroom right now. All I want, if anything, is this. Or like when you're sick and you forget like what it's like not to be sick, and you just, like, my voice sounds pretty sick actually, but I'm not, I swear. But, you know, when you get really sick and you just forget what it's like not to be sick, and you're like, I wish I could be like that. I hate this cold. I hate my voice sucks. I hate that I just feel ill. I have a headache all day, every day. Whatever the thing may be. It's the same thing, again, when you really need to use the bathroom and you're like, I've got to go 10 minutes. I don't think I can do this 10 minutes. All I can think about is how much I want to relieve, insert bodily organ here. And it's like, it's interesting that those moments, the moment of relief you get when it finally does go away is amazing. But then again, as soon as that moment is over, you kind of have to move on to something else. Again, it's weird, like, the most basic things are the most satisfying things. But also, you can't look forward to the basic things too much, because otherwise the big question of what's next comes up. In fact, I would say the big question of what's next is the ultimate, like, defining, like, question, I would say, of the modern human world. So right now, you know, what's next, you know, like, right now when it comes to what you want in the world, you might have a good idea, like, I really want to do this, or travel the world, or I want to, you know, whatever goals people have. Yeah, again, let's not get too specific on it, but you have a goal, and you're like, I really want to do that. And then it happens, and you're like, well, what do I do now? This whole thing was built on the idea that, like, we would achieve the goal, and then we'd be happy. But, like, there's always, you know, having an end is always such a tricky concept, because what happens after the end? There's never truly an end. The only end is, like, finality, where nothing happens. Like, what, death? Like, death isn't a happy goal. Maybe it is. Like, some people get it strapped in their heads, and, you know, it's like an unachievable kind of thing. You need to have, like, achievable but long-term, hard, like, multiple parts. Again, it's kind of interesting that way, right? That even though the things that make you happiest are the simplest things, we deliberately set our brains up to be happiest about complex things, just because it's easier and avoids the big question, you know, the one no one wants to ask, of what happens next now. Like, have you ever finished a game? You know, actually, whenever I finish a big project, not in this world, but, like, a big worldwide project, let's say, you know, like, and you're like, oh my, okay, guess we're going to be on fire for a bit now. Hopefully we don't die from it. But whenever you finish a big project, it's like, wow, that's amazing. And there's a few moments of, like, maybe I'll take some pictures, I'll do something like that. And then almost immediately, at least this is my experience, the big question just comes up, and it's like, oh, so what next? Like, the thing you enjoy is the journey, not the destination. It's really, really fun to work towards something. There aren't many things where it's fun to have the thing, like, actually be there, you know? And something about that has always struck me as, like, a profound tragedy of, like, humanity, right? Because, honestly, one of the things, okay, so taking things for granted is something I hate as a concept. Like, you don't need to be happy that, you know, like, you have food on your plate, and that in Africa not everyone does, or, like, you don't need to feel happy about that, because that's stupid. Like, yeah, you know, like, I get it, like, you can feel happy if it makes you feel better, that's wonderful, but you shouldn't feel bad that you're not feeling bad about how you have food on your plate, and you have fresh water, and you have, you know, whatever, clean clothes, whatever, you know, you don't have abusive parents, assuming that's the case, you know, whatever, like, set of circumstances you have, you don't need to feel bad just because it's worse. It's the same thing about, like, temperature, where everyone's like, oh, wow, did you know, you think it's hot, Toy Cat, but little do you know, it gets hotter in other places that aren't where you're at, and it's like, well, what do I do, oh my gosh, with that information, you know? Like, that doesn't make this current situation any better, and it's the same kind of thing where, like, if you don't need to take things for granted. One of the things that everyone in the whole world takes for granted is the fact that we can lead these complex lives where we decide the goals. Like, everyone's always focused on either, like, oh yeah, everything sucks in comparison to how it could be, or, like, also, this is going to be the riskiest thing we ever do, but let's just go for it. There's going to be some loud gas noises over the back of me, but that's fine. Who needs gas anyway? Oh my god, okay. Let's keep going forwards, and then he can't hit me. Oh, I hate this noise so much. It's the worst thing. You know, it's the same thing, like, in the reverse, what I was saying, where, like, you know, like, the simplest things are some of the best things, oftentimes. But also, some of the worst things are the simple bad things. Pain is just your body telling you, like, something is going bad. But, like, the pain of, like, having a toenail pulled off or something is, like, horrifically bad to you, right? And it's interesting, but, like, in the same way, you'd figure the complex planes would be the bad one. Like, oh yeah, when your girlfriend, you know, cheats on you with your dad, and then, you know, like, kills your cat slowly, and dooms you to a life, and then, like, you know, gets you fired from the job, your dream job, so that you can never do it again. That's like, you know, a combination of lots of terrible things, right, that you might care about. To me, you know, like, if you live in America, like, and, you know, actually, let's move, let's not, but, you know, there are some things that can happen in America that are complex and bad, for complex and bad reasons. You know, should I just throw the trident at him? No, I don't have a returning trident, I just have to put up with these flames. You know, if we're putting up with the flames, let's just keep on going forwards, let's just accept I'm gonna be on fire sometimes. That's how the world works. But yeah, oh no! Whoa, okay, this is getting, it's getting pretty risky over here. But, yeah, you'd figure, like, the most complex, the worst types of pains would be the complex ones. But it seems as though the worst ones are all the basic ones, right? Which, you know, maybe we figured would work in reverse too. Although maybe it's just because complex pains don't happen very often, right? Most pain is one-dimensional and easy to deal with, relatively. Like, the worst type of thing that can happen is, like, a type, you know, like an emotional trauma that, like, leaves you scarred forever. Like, I've said this before, but, like, having my phone stolen, it didn't suck so much because I didn't have a phone I was really happy with, and I spent a lot of money, and like, I went through some effort to get. I went to America to save some money, because they're expensive, relatively, in the UK. I did a lot of stuff to get that phone, and it sucks that I had a basic thing taken away from me, but the thing that makes it hurt is the psychological distrust I have in, like, human beings. Pretty much everywhere now. Like, I am godful of, like, everywhere and everything. Like, even in London, which, pro tip, like, some people tell you it's not safe, and I'm sure there are some areas where you have to be slightly more on guard. It's pretty safe. If you, again, most crimes in most big cities happen to other people who are doing the same crime-related stuff. You know, it's like gang-on-gang crime, or like person-on-person crime. It's not a real issue to worry about, so you don't have to worry about it. The places where the crimes happen to strangers, that's where things are scary. And because because something's happened once, I have, like, a physical distrust of human beings now. And that's the scary thing. That's where you have to, like, think about it, talk about it, go through it. And I'm glad I have this YouTube channel as a place to, you know, I'm glad you listening right now, and you watching, and you who are subscribed to this channel, hopefully, like, we can talk about the issues, we can learn and discuss and have the whole thing. And it's something that I'm really grateful for, because it allows talking some stuff out, makes you appreciate what something actually is a lot better. Kind of following up from the Let's Play episode, the worst thing you can do for pretty much any issue is just try and never talk about it again. There are situations where you shouldn't talk about certain things. I knew a girl who would bring up the fact, you know, again, in fact, I won't say it, but, in fact, it was one of my girlfriends, I realized, but, before that, with lots of strangers, be like, hey, here's some deep-seated emotional stuff, and, like, when people you don't know are like, I don't know how to deal with this, that, like, creates double issues. But like, finding people you trust, like I do with you, the subscribers. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but the people who watch the Let's Plays and the stuff like this, who want to hang out, listen, talk about the more interesting things in the world, you're the cooler portion of YouTube, you know? I've never aimed my channel at, you know, like, super young kids who are just excited about the next big thing, or whatever it may be, because I'd rather make something that's, like, fun and, you know, hopefully, you know, meaningful is a word I'd go for, but because of that, I've always thought, like, you know, the people who want to learn, who want to listen, I think you're the coolest side of things. And I also want to just give you a quick thank you for moving back to where we're going, which is that, yeah, the question of where do we go now, the question of what comes next, is an endless one that never really has an answer. But I think the trick is, oh, okay, I did it wrong. But I think the trick is, when it comes to this one, is just to think, like, you know, sometimes we don't know where we're going. Maybe it's a good idea to have multiple goals, multiple small goals. Maybe it's a good idea to have a big goal, work it out for yourself. But I think, actually, the whole goal system, the whole answering that question, is really a big part of answering what life is itself. Or at least what modern life is. Because, again, one of the most mind-blowing things I feel like people don't really appreciate is the fact that you can choose what you do with your life is the most incredible phenomenon. The fact that you can live a life considered really good by yourself, your peers. A lot of these feelings and things that we've invented over the past couple hundred years, a lot of the things that you take for granted and you look forward to and you think of, they're things we've invented in the past couple of, 100 years or so. So, if you want to know what I mean by that, the idea of, like, okay, first of all, we are the only species, the humans, in the known universe that can communicate, like, thoughts like this, and can have complex, detailed ambitions, goals, plans. This is going to be a nightmare to deal with. We're the only species that can have complex, detailed thoughts and dreams and all that sort of stuff. At least that we're aware of, again. And that's like a mind-blowingly cool thing. Like, you get to dream what you want. You get the free will, basically, is what I would describe it as, to decide, like, actually, you know, I don't want to be that. I want to be this. Also, I think I can stop this whole lava flow if I just get up there. But getting up there is quite dangerous because fireworks don't always work. Okay, here we go. We're safe. We're good. We're golden. Okay, so, yeah, I think what we'll just do is we'll just, like, I have to be really, really careful about this one. If we just place some blocks there, and there, all of a sudden, blocked off the whole flow, and I've created, look at me. Toy Cat Deals with Lava, 2018, colorized, question mark. But yeah, as you can see, we wait for a little bit, which is nice. You know, sometimes waiting is important. But yeah, you bear in mind, like, we are humans. We can actually think about what we want to do. And we can have what feels like free will. Whether it is or not, you can have a big debate about, I guess. But we have what feels like the ability to pick, the ability to decide on what we do at any given moment. Right now, you're deciding to watch this video. Thank you, by the way. You're deciding to like the video. Or, you know, some decent portion of you won't. You know, you've decided all these different things. And then on top of that, is throughout most of history, there was not of most human history, there was no surplus of human labor. Everyone had to focus on survival. Survival was the only goal of the species, because if you don't focus on surviving, you know what happens if you don't survive? You die. Fun fact, spoiler alert. So yeah, basically, just, you know, because of the fact that, mostly because of the fact that, like, we didn't even have the idea of, like, surplus, like, people who weren't just surviving. And then throughout most of, you know, developed history like that, the idea of having people that, like, could pick their career path and be educated and do stuff like that, that's a really modern thing too. Like, oh yeah, we need people who can work on technology and pushing this branch of human forward. Like, the level of specialization we've reached, there is a person that can do any mundane, specific task you come up with, because we need them. We need someone to be specialized down to the role like that. And although there's downsides to, like, as we switch to a world where everyone does one specific thing for, like, humanity as a whole, I would say, it's cool that, like, you can pick a specific thing. You can make multiple specific things if you really want to, but you can basically do anything you want to. If you have a specific set of emotions you want to drive from something, you can find the job that does that for you. Like, if you love creating computer programs and you love, you know, airplanes or something, maybe you can, like, program the games on the in-flight entertainment systems or something. You know, like, there's someone for every vague role, because we need someone for every vague role. There's a immense amount of specialization that goes down, and you know, as a result of that, we got the highest quality of life because of, you know, the trade and all that stuff that's happened between countries to allow, you know, the global, let's call it the labor pool, like the number of people who work together basically is now in the billions. There are billions of people all working together to effectively allow the quality of life to go up from, like, survive to survive and survive kind of nicely to survive and live literally any dream you want. The way the current financial system works is you can do anything you want right now. It might be hard. I mean, I guess within reason. It might be hard. It might require extreme sacrifices. But anyone can do anything you can reasonably want to. And that's cool. That is a thing that's only right now. That's one of the most positive things no one ever focuses on. People always focus on, like, oh, yeah, well, you know, like, disease is up this amount, or, like, wealth inequality is up this amount, and therefore, you know, there's less money here. And it's like, that sucks. But still, for the average person, in fact, for even the lowest person, like, if you're crazy poor today, you're so much richer than someone like 200. The richest person in the world that we've ever known was a guy from, I want to say it's Mauritania. It might be from the Gambia. But there's a guy from a former African country who had so much gold, it was just more money than any other human. Any human will ever hold, more than likely, unless Jeff Bezos goes ham, right? Despite that, you can live a better life, even if you're in extreme poverty. If you're watching this video, you are living so much better of a life than the top of humanity could produce that many years ago. And the same thing will hopefully be true in another 1,000 years, or 100 years, or whatever. Over your lifetime, that gets truer and truer and truer. And the reason I think that's so cool is because it's basically the freedom to pick is something that is such, there's so many tiny percent, like, okay, so it's kind of like, you know, like the odds of finding aliens, a tiny percent on a tiny percent on a tiny percent. Is there any aliens to begin with? Are they going to find us first? Are they going to want to kill us? Probably. You know, all these, like, questions that lead to bad situations. But maybe there are aliens out there that are nice. But think about the same thing with humans. Like, the odds of a species developing this far with a brain and capacity to communicate with other people to effectively get things done, that's mind-blowing. The fact that it could survive thousands of years. Humans were almost wiped out. There's this huge, I forget what it's called, like the Tomo volcano. It was somewhere in Indonesia, or modern day Indonesia. There wasn't an Indonesia 70,000 years ago, but somewhere in Indonesia, a volcano exploded, and humanity basically died. It should have died by any realistic, like account. Humanity basically died, down to like 4,000 people. We survived. We, were smart enough. We got smarter. Like went from Neanderthal phase and so on and so forth. We got to the place we are right now. And then from there, also it's 73, I believe, the block I'm standing on. So this should line up perfectly with that. At least that's the theory. Let's see if it does, I guess. So yeah, this is the right block for there. So we'll just keep mining this way for a bit, because I don't want to go out there while there's a ghast, if I'm being honest. And also a magma cube that's just coming off me in a pretty aggressive way. I don't think he's respecting my rights as much as he should be. It's very, very rude of that magma cube. So yeah, and then the fact that all that stuff comes through, and then you happen to be formed and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing the miracle of it all in some ways. Like if you ever feel like, I have the worst luck. No. The fact that you're alive right now is like winning the lottery 6 times in a row, or something as absurd as that. And that's not to say like, oh yeah, well therefore never happening again. It shouldn't happen. Like things happen. Like already rolled dice. You can't comment on how rare that is. Like if you roll 10 sixes in a row, that's amazing. It doesn't mean the next dice you roll is going to be a 6. It doesn't mean that you have to feel happy because you rolled all those dice previously. But it does mean that, like, next time you get a 1, appreciate that there's so many 6s in a row or something. If that helps you, that does. But it does still raise the question of, like, even as a species, the what do we do now question is huge. Like, I'm glad that we live in a world where, basically speaking, we don't have individuals who decide what we do now. Theoretically speaking, some countries have individuals with enough power to basically shape the country. But, that doesn't really happen too much anymore. And even then it's like minorly shape the country. The big question of like, as a species, like, what do we do after this? We've come so much further than anyone would have ever imagined. What do we do now? Do we start fulfilling our dreams as a, like, because think about it, like when you picture VR or anything like that, you picture, sorry, not VR. When you picture like the future, you picture this amazing, that is a really weird English ghast. You're picturing some amazing future, where like hover cars and everything, like from movies and stuff. But really, the future is just a representation of what we admire most and believe the future will be. It's nowhere near what the future will actually be like. And I think one of the most interesting forms of this is because the future is kind of like art in a way, like futurism or future, like designing the future, imagining a future is kind of a form of art, I would say. It's really interesting to imagine, because everyone always thinks like, oh yeah, we're gonna have these like think about like Futurama, the internet, where like, oh yeah, you go inside this thing and like you're fully immersed, all your senses believe you're in the internet, like a lucid dream or something, where you're just like, it's hard to distinguish this from reality. I think the truth is, if you think about smartphones, we basically create our own virtual reality world. We create these personal bubbles where everything is there to entertain us and we only exist there. Because when you're staring at your phone for too long, do you recognize anything in the real world? I miss train stops sometimes because I'm just my phone. I'm like, oh, I think the train, like I can tell it by the speed the train's going at, I think. Like, oh, we slowed down, we stopped, and we've started again. But I think in terms of actual, oh, this pickaxe is getting dangerously close to death. And also I'm running out of stone brick. But one of the things about this whole thing to keep in mind is that smartphones are basically these VR devices. You're on your smartphone and you can talk to people if you want to. That's obviously not what I'm doing too much, but you can talk to people. You can be endlessly entertained by an endless stream of content on pretty much any social network you can imagine. So you can have pictures, you can have videos, like maybe this one right here. We live in the future already, and I think a lot of people don't appreciate the future when it's here, because most people don't like new things. Like, people love to imagine new things. People don't like trying new things. That's something I've learned. Like, there's an age you hit. I don't know what it is. Like, let's make it up. But there's an age you hit where new things aren't as fun to try. And a lot of people, they don't even need to, like, that age will be like 16 for them. Like, well, I'm 16. Every belief I've learned already, that's enough for me. But I think learning beyond that, trying to explore new perspectives and new things, being open to the world and what it maybe has to offer you. Also, this is the Nether, like, seeing the Nether terrain. I don't think I've ever traveled 3,000 blocks in a row, like, in the Nether. Like, legitimately just like this in survival walking. It's been quite a blast, right? But yeah, we live in the future. And also, as a civilization, we have no clue what the answer to, like, what now is. Like, there are some visionaries, like, you know, maybe, again, I know Elon Musk isn't so popular anymore, but, like, let's go to Mars. One person finally thinks, right? Or one person finally puts, like, the effort in to actually do. But, you know, besides that, it's like, oh yeah, well, I mean, you know, what should we do? Like, I guess keep working on how things are now. And I think the single best thing we can work on is, like, yeah, improve the size of the world economy and things in it, and things, you know, like, the size of the thing that produces all the things that we care about. Let's keep that growing, and then work out what to do with it later. Like, oh yeah, we can use this to go to space, or to, like, at some point, you know, we worked out, like, vaguely, like, oh yeah, once we can harness our star's energy, then we'll be set as a civilization. Maybe we'll never want to go anywhere, but, like, we need to, like, work out for sure, for real, like, what the end kind of goal is, I guess. And the answer is like, it's impossible to work that out. There can't be an end goal, because even though there's an end to everything, you can never really pitch that as your end goal. Like, the end of the world, the universe gets heat death in, like, 1 followed by, I want to say it's 100 zeros, but maybe more than that. The world, every single atom and thing that's ever existed, splits in half, has its half-life. It's all gone. Look, eventually everything is all gone. Eventually humanity won't be there. And those are really depressing things to think about. But yet, at the same time, it's almost more depressing to think, like, so what do? We just keep doing this forever? We just keep being, you know, we're having these stable, like, 2% a year increase in the world, you know, like, what we can do with it year on year on year on year until something maybe happens. You've got to have, like, some cool goal, right? That's why I said, like, having the goal of, like, let's go to Mars, have a whole new planet, that inspires people. I think being inspired somehow is what makes people happy. That's why certain, you know, presidents of certain countries get elected. Having, you know, it's kind of moved away from that, because press just means, like, oh, there's one demon and someone who's not a demon. Pick which one you want to elect. But we're doing, you know, let's keep going all the way until my stone brick runs out. We've gone 3,000 blocks. It's been the wildest ride, but I want to keep on going with this. But yeah, the biggest question that no one knows the answer to is, what do we do now? And I think, in all truthfulness, I don't know what we do now. What do we do now at the end of the video? What do you do now anytime? No one knows. No one has a fixed answer. It always just has to come down to, like, well, you have to work that out. That, rather than having a crisis because there is no answer, you have to create your own one. You have to have your own goal and always be working towards it. And, you know, it can be a simple goal, it can be a complex goal. I would argue, like, just every single, like, even the scale of the goal. Like, one of the happiest things you can do as a result of this is just, every single day, set yourself some targets. You know how, like, productive, oh man, this pickaxe is basically dead. Does it tell me durability? It doesn't actually. Okay, just a few more. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. This is dangerously close to dying. So yeah, we went 3,100 blocks. The pickaxe life was a real decider in how far we went. You know, actually, switch pickaxe. This isn't as efficient to use because it doesn't have unbreaking. So this is being a little bit wasteful right now, I'll admit, straight up here. But I just want to go. I just want to keep on going forwards. I want to see what's out there. I want to see what's on the next kind of, like, side of these things. Because, yeah, I think the happiest people, the most productive people, are those that are just like, every day, here's what I'm going to get done today. You know, even if you just write, do laundry, you do the laundry, you're happy, you can stick to past you. I've said, I think actually, I've raised this point before, like, one of the things that defines how good of a, how happy, at least I feel like I am, is how much past Toy Cat and current Toy Cat and future Toy Cat get along. You know, that, like, to think that you're one person when the brain is as complex that it, like, the brain, here's the craziest thing, right? The brain not only can understand itself, the brain can cure itself. The brain is the organ that can work out what's wrong with the brain so that the brain can fix the brain. But also the brain is stupid enough that it needs the brain to fix. You get what I'm saying here? Like, it's, if you try to think too much about what you are, where you are, you're gonna have an eternal end of like, am I the brain? Am I the eyes? Because I picture myself as being my eyes, right? I don't know why, but like I can't picture myself being that lump of pink. Is it pink? I think the brain is pink. But I can't picture myself being a lump of an organ in my brain, in my head, sorry. I picture myself as being the eyes up front, that like, you know, and those eyes control the rest of it. Which is why, I mean, I think that's why a lot of people are so scared of being like stabbed in the eyes. Because, I mean, there's some good reasons anyway, but also that. And yeah, basically, I feel like what you... Oh, I think we're all out now. Okay, just a few more blocks. So this is... Oh no, we've got a whole nother stack. Oh, okay, so let's just do this. Come back now. Yeah! Okay, so as long as that doesn't stop, we're good. This is my last stack of resources. We're going to make it count. We're going to make it all the way across here. And then we're just going to appreciate what we've done. Because, yeah, I feel like picturing what you are is really hard. You'll have a crisis about it. But you do have to just appreciate the, like, even though you might think you're super smart, or you might think you're super stupid, the fact that you can have those thoughts about yourself just makes you realize that, like, there is multiple layers of you. Rather than thinking you're the same you all the time, because, like, you wouldn't ever assume that, like, oh yeah, drunk me, when I drink, oh man, I'm getting out of here, because this is pretty deadly stuff. Let's just calm it over here. Let's just take a little bit of time, you know, maybe relax, away from the hustle and bustle, the daily grind of what's going on right here. So we're going to make a hole out there and line it up with this. Okay, that's easier said than done. Okay, I think that's about right. Oh no, we're still not there. Yeah, I think it's one block down from here. I think this is the right place, but I only have 9. Like, this is literally the only time that was, like, fully inconvenient. My Elytra is so dead that I genuinely might die on the way over there. But, yeah. We're going to do it anyway. Oh, my gosh. That was scary. So, yeah, we could hop down now and make a netherrack staircase up. It might be worth doing. You know, I'll do it. I want the ghasters that badly. I don't kill ghasts enough. Because who kills ghasts ever? Just, like, they just suck. Killing them is just not a fun process. And I can't build my staircase up. Because it'll get destroyed. Okay, let's go. Let's build a staircase. Most fun way to build a staircase is you start like 4 or 5 blocks. And then after a certain point, you can just like build up like this. It's very easy. I messed up. You know, I said it was easy. I made it hard myself. I deserve everything I get right now. There we go. And now we go. And now we can go all the way back and kind of just enjoy this in the reverse angle. Which seems like a weird thing to do, but it's what I'm going to do regardless. Because, yeah, I think every now and then just appreciating what you've done is important. Both in terms of, like, you can't always be looking towards another thing. If as soon as you complete a goal, it's like, whoa, now the next goal. I think that wears you out after a while because you start to realize how arbitrary all the goals can be. Whenever you finish something big that you're happy with, allow yourself some simple goals or simple pleasures or no goals. Maybe goals make you sad. But I think always having a driving force in you of some form. Even if the driving force is like, I'm going to relax so hard. I do this to myself sometimes. This is a part of why you sometimes see me go to like silly places. Because most of my trips are like, so like right now I'm in Japan. It's partly about, oh yeah, I really want to make a video about this, that, etc. So part of it is all about that. And a part of it is like, you know, Japan is the dream, right? That is the place where if I take any, you know, like day off or something, it's going to be the best day off. It's going to revitalize me 3 times as hard. Or like whenever I'm like eating to feel better, I get the whole tub of ice cream. I eat all of that, grab a cold drink of it, get some pizza. Like I try to do everything like to the extreme. And I think honestly, like something, oh, I now have no food while running past gas that genuinely might hit me. Also, I think I'm going to starve to death. It just hit me now. If I have no food, which I don't, and we're on fire too. So that's another issue to add to the pile. I have no food. I genuinely will starve to death. Assuming, you know, let's see. If my hunger goes down too far, so I have to stay walking regularly. My Elytra might be able to save me, except Yeah, I'm gonna starve to death. That's fine. Starving to death is okay sometimes. At least I have the food to even, like, you know, in some places, starving to death is just the norm. Like, oh yeah, you live in Soviet Ukraine, and maybe you'll starve. You know, it's not maybe you'll starve to death. It's like, wow, you didn't starve to death. Oh wow, that was scary. Oh, I had a mini heart attack there. But yeah, to kind of summarize everything, because I feel like we've gone all over the place, back and forth. I think that knowing what you want is a really tricky challenge. And if you act like there is a definitive list of things that one person can want or should want, you will have a bad time. I think instead, you just have to accept there are small wins, small goals. If you have a long-term goal that you are working towards, that's nice. But even if you don't, as long as you know you're happy now and you can be happy in the future. Like, this is the stereotypical thing. I think it's like a John Lennon quote or something. So, you know, like, take it with a grain of salt. If you don't like him, I think he's from the Beatles, maybe. I don't know why I know it's from him if I don't know who he is. But just trust me on this one. But there's a famous quote of, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Happy. And that's really how I feel about things. I had a really, really depressed phase. And, like, where I was just not happy about anything for a while. And I was like, you know, it'd be wonderful if as an adult, I would just, like, feel good sometimes. Also, I'm actually not going to make it. I'm on 2 of these little hunger bars now. So we have to pray we find some food somewhere. Or we can kill zombie pigmen and eat their flesh. Honestly, let's zombie pigmen route. I've got smite. It sounds dodgy, and it might be a short-term solution. But compared to starving, you know, I'll take it over starving any day of the week. Don't need the blaze rod, so we can throw that up there. Oh, no, I picked it up. Throw it over there. And now we'll kill one, and we'll see what the radius actually is on new ones coming by. Oh, it's not a one-hit kill. And I didn't get any rotten flesh from him. And also, this guy is coming after me. Oh, no. So it's a bit annoying, the hitbox on these guys. There's a lot of things about Bedrock, actually, that are a little bit annoying. But it's part of why I signed up for here. In fact, maybe going after this. Oh, no, okay, maybe. Okay, so rotten flesh, 2 of it. You want to try and avoiding it for as long as you can. Yeah, killing those guys was the worst decision I've made in a long time. So we have to get two more. Maybe kill 1 more zombie pigman. If you want to stand a chance. No, no! Oh god! 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 Okay, genuine chance of death now. Especially because there's like random dudes coming after me. If we have to eat this just to survive, then things get even more dire. You know, I hate the Nether. I want to really reiterate that for a time. So he's not angry at me right now, interestingly. Okay, so we killed him, which is great. We're going to kill him with a skeleton, which is great too. And now we can finally get up to healing. Temperature. Healing level. And then that will keep me vaguely in this. You know, it's been a while since I've been to the Nether and actually had a realistic expectation, I guess. Not expectation, but a realistic chance of dying. Which is nice. You know, trying new things is great. Now, you know, like, other time maybe would have been better. I think this is a really dangerous place to bridge over while this guy's there. So I'm going to have to kill all of him and his little minions before I can do that. Oh my god, I hate these guys so much. You know what, let's just run away from all of this. Let's just firework up. If we die, we die. If my elytra breaks, it breaks. Which it doesn't seem to want to. Oh man, yes. Okay, I think it broke just then. No, it didn't. Okay, we're alive, we're good. We're golden, we're in this. I have enough food that if I just walk, I should make it home. Can we make it home from our epic? Was even epic. It was just a fun, chill and talk about a big project. Which again, that's what I like about these live streams. Because this is very much live and real. As always. I love that we can just like, you know, you got some visuals that are like kind of vaguely following the same trend. There's progress being made. And we can talk about, I guess, the things you don't get to talk about too much. You don't get to talk about what comes next because you're so focused on what comes now. Social media is the same, right? Like, if you focus on what comes now, it works for you. And if you focus too much on what comes next, it's terrible. So you seem like, that's why we should stick to what comes now. But the truth is you need to spend some time thinking about what you think about. And that really hurts me to think about. Like, you gotta really be careful. You know, the things that you think about are not the same things as the things that you do think about. And the things that you should be thinking about are not the things you're thinking about. And maybe that hurts too much. Maybe that's going too far. I think one of the best things is to leave your mind unrestricted in some ways. But it's also really interesting that you can restrict how you see the world. Again, the fact that you see the world as like the brain or the pair of eyeballs or whatever you want to believe is kind of nuts by itself. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of say here, we're making it home today. I've enjoyed my journey. I hope you've enjoyed the live stream. I think I've done a few too many like deep time with Toy Cat live streams. So next week I'm gonna try and do something maybe a bit more fun actually, like play some Battle Royale. Does that sound fun? Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll play some Battle Royale next week. Because Deep Time with Toy Cat, it's great. I think it's nice, it's wonderful. And I want to do more of this. But it's also a sort of thing where it's like, you know, maybe, you know, you're watching this live stream, like Poppy618, who's like, Toy Cat, tell us what you think about the new skins that just came out. I'm sure, even though this is, you know, a few days ahead of time, I'm sure there's a skin pack that just came out 2 days ago, and that literally 4 people care about. Oh, but you know, I think one of the things about this channel that I don't do enough with, because my channel, okay, so you know, let's share something. My channel doesn't grow because it doesn't focus on Minecraft itself too much anymore. I focus on updates when they come out. Also, this is like the most insane spread of lava. It's everywhere. I don't focus on the updates too much themselves when they come out anymore. I'm rather more focused on... sorry, I do focus on the updates when they come out. But the game itself, I don't really do too many things with it. Like, because I feel like there's not enough space for tutorials. There's not enough this or that. And one of the, I guess, consequences of that... Do we need 3 nuggets over a stack of netherrack? I mean, I'm really not actually sure. But yeah, one of the consequences is it means we don't get to, like, just play, talk, experience, and share that together. And one of the things I started YouTube to do is to share games like this. This is why I've started my 3rd Let's Play channel as well. Because I want to... this is IBX Toy Cat Let's Plays, by the way. Just because I really want to provide what isn't there already. And in the Minecraft space, you know, not many people do, you know, just... most people do play Minecraft, that's why I don't feel the need to do it. But nowadays it's like, yeah, less people are there just playing Minecraft, talking, being real humans. Like, let's share a game experience together. Which is something I really believe in. The reason I do all my videos the way I do, the reason this is like this is, and the reason my Let's Plays are the way they are, and the reason next week I'll have some fun, but like, you know, we're gonna actually be real and not fake, is because I believe that, like, YouTubers have the power to be real people. I hopefully have the power. You know, I don't know for how long. But to share real things, real thoughts, real feelings, facts, whatever, with you. And that's something that should be appreciated. And really, I think a lot of YouTubers abuse that. They take advantage of the fact that you think they're real to do incredibly, wildly fake and exhausting looking things. And yeah, I try not to be a part of that. And that's why my channel is wildly different to a lot of channels out there. And I hope that you enjoy or appreciate that. Again, sometimes I wonder, like, why am I like this? Why don't I just hop on the next trend and be like, 3 AM, Green Steve, also, I'm playing this hot new game. Sorry, Roblox. I think it's Roblox, right? I spoke to, so I think it was Studio 71. I'm sorry, Studio 71, if it is you. But I spoke to one of the biggest networks that really wanted to get me into their pool of talent or whatever. Because, you know, they're like, yeah, this is kind of cool. And they're like, so, we have... you know, they're like, we have a Preston, and we have, I think a Mitch. If you know Minecraft YouTubers, you might know who both of those people are. And there's also, I think they have a Jack from, let's just say, from Minecraft PE, not from other Minecraft communities. So, like, you know, there's 3 names. It's not actually naming people. And he's like, here's the details about their channels. We have this advice service, and the best business move for them is to play Roblox. And we think that's a smart thing for you too. You need to move into Roblox. That's where things are big. It's like, but that's big because, you know, like, it's not big because it allows me to do what I do. It's like, but profit. And it's like, but I'd rather not, you know, like alienate the audience we have here already. And that's why when we start switching and play other new games on the channel, like, you know, like we do every Tuesday, but also maybe in the future we'll do in future in addition to Minecraft, I always want it to allow me to, you know, do chill time with Minecraft like this. Like, I loved this walk we've been doing for the last however long. It's been such a delight to just see Minecraft, appreciate it, and go on a walk together. Go on a walk, a walkie-talkie, and I hope you've enjoyed walkie-talkie time with Toycat. Let me know if you want to exercise your free will on a like. I'd very much appreciate it. Give it, actually, you know, honestly, on these sorts of videos, it probably doesn't affect too much. So, you know, if you're only going to give me one like in the next like week or so, you don't need to give it to me in this video. Again, I feel like one of the things that really a lot of YouTubers use this as like aha, they're my pawns. They'll like the video if I beg them to, and I hate that. That's why I try not to be like every one of my videos. But it really would help if you like the videos, if you watch them, you know, for whatever amount of time. Leaving a comment, I think, has some effect on it. Clicking on the little the eye in the top right, even just to see what's there. Like, you don't have to click on anything, just click on the eye. Doing small things like that while watching a video really does help it out in the strangest ways. The fact that YouTube works this way is bizarre. And although I'm not going to mention it every video because I think it will get tiring, if you want to help the Toycat channel on a consistent basis, do some of those things. You know, check what's in the eye. Put some polls there sometimes, maybe. Just to kind of see what's up, you know. Because I think that's something that's fun and that we're doing. And that's vaguely important. So we've gone from 3,000 blocks to 700. Bear in mind, we've gone only a third of the way, because we're at 3,200. Less than a third of the way to our end goal. This is going to be one long, endless tunnel. It's going to take something like 2 hours or 3 hours to walk through. Which honestly is kind of cool, actually, isn't it? At least I think it's cool. And yeah, I've in today's episode, we made a huge chunk into it. We went another couple thousand blocks out. So all we need is another 3 or 4 streams, it seems. Or one mega stream, like a 4-hour stream sometime. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So, yeah, in the next week, we'll probably be doing some Battery Royale. And also, Tuesday streams is always going to be something kind of different. You've seen one already. You'll see one in the future. And also, if you're on the Toycat podcast, because sometimes I used to do like Toycat podcasts, it's filler videos. I'm starting it on the 3rd channel as well. Like that's a project that's in the works right now. So if you like hearing me talk about things in the world and stuff, then good news for you. But yeah, that's just what's up right now. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the Minecraft Xbox. Wait, it's a live stream. Thank you very much for watching the live stream. Turn on the bell to see more live streams like this. Because, you know, you missed this one and it really hurt my feelings. So hit the bell so you see more of these streams every single day on your homepage. And actually, you know, we're still not quite there. I thought like 500 blocks, now we're definitely in the center. But we've still actually got quite some distance to go. Let's walk backwards. I like living life on the edge here. We've walked past so many Nev fortresses as well, by the way. I need to go raid them all at some point. Like, there's so many. There's so much free loot you can get on Bedrock. It's unbelievable, really, when you really think about it. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like if you liked it, share if you liked it, subscribe now to this turtle. He's back, and so am I. And I guess I'll see you all next week for some Battle Royale live. So, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.